you have to earn their trust. They've been burnt by the school system, burnt by the medical system, just burnt. So like a Facebook ad, they might have to see 20 of those things before they come into your gym, because most of the special needs communities run on nonprofits.
Yeah.
So all these nonprofits were dead.
Is there a certification training, anything for working with like special needs kids?
Yeah, that's a good
and
question.
Did you have that?
No, I didn't.
Hello and welcome to Gym World Worldwide. I am your host, John Franklin, coming at you live from Nashville, Tennessee at the Two Brain Business Tinker Meetup, where I'm getting to hang out with some of the best gym owners in the entire world. I love coming to these things because you always hear interesting stories, and you get to hear of gym owners who are just like have interesting models and are doing things a different way and finding success doing it. And that is how I found my guest this week, who, like, I'm not even going to give it the bio because he's going to have to tell it himself, because it is one of the crazier businesses in fitness that I've seen built, and I'm learning about it live with you. So we're going to dig in together and learn more about the business of Damon Vincent of Train Unique. How do I do there?
That was great, man. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us about, what is Train Unique?
Yeah. So first off, thank you for having me. It's, like every other great gym owner, I've been waiting on it, man.
You just you got the call.
Yeah,
Today's the
dude.
day. Welcome to the major league.
All right. So yeah, Train Unique is a fitness and health program in Lafayette, Louisiana that only serves adaptive and special needs athletes. So we have two main populations: the intellectual athletes. We're talking Down syndrome, autism spectrum disorder, cerebral palsy, and the adaptive population: spinal cord injury athletes, traumatic brain injuries, cerebral palsy, spina bifida, Friedreich's ataxia, all of that.
And so how did this happen? Is this like you were just like, I'm going to open a gym for special needs people?
No, not quite. There's a nonprofit in our area called the Dreams Foundation. They approached me in 2014 to do a boxing class, and it was about 15 people with special needs in it. It was a pretty big disaster. I switched it to fitness, and dude, it just took off. Like, one class turned to two classes, turned to three classes. My personal training schedule filled up.
Were you just a personal trainer at the time? Was
I
that
was.
what you,
Yeah,
in
I
like
was
a
doing.
Globo gym?
Yeah, and actually it's the UFC gym. There was a UFC gym back in Lafayette.
Oh, that's why I was boxing. Okay.
And, yeah, exactly. That's why I was boxing. So I was a personal trainer. I had general pop clients, some fighters, all kinds of stuff. I actually have a condition called congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Crazy story. My adrenal glands don't work at all, and so I kind of had like a little glimpse into this community of what it was like to be under the microscope, what it was like to your medicine not be right and to feel like crap all the time. And so I just God's plan, whatever you want to call it. This is what I think that I was destined to do, and it's just blown up.
What does that mean? Your adrenal glands don't work? What is that?
I was telling the story to Sean earlier. I was 3 years old and going through puberty. My mom's like, why does my 3-year-old have ab muscles, underarm hair, body odor, and he's pissed off all the time? And when you have congenital adrenal hyperplasia, your adrenals don't produce any cortisol, and so my hormones were just raging. I had the body of an 11-year-old at 3.
So you just had like massive test levels?
Basically, yeah. I literally had the body of an 11-year-old. Like, my bone age was 11 at 3 years old. And so I got into the National Institutes of Health and the study there, and they controlled my growth from 3, and I caught up with my body for the first time at 16. It's been a journey. I've been on experimental medicine and steroids my whole life. They told me I couldn't have kids, like the whole 9. It's been pretty crazy. But, I think that kind of background and empathy of what it's like to have, whatever you call it, disorder, rare disease, and just whenever I was getting into fitness, I wanted to make a real difference in the world. Like, I wanted to serve who needed to be served, and clearly the special population, community needed that.
So is that why you got tapped originally? Like, was this like how
as far as dreams go?
Yeah,
no, they didn't know that. They didn't know that, but I think that just out of all the trainers at the UFC gym, they were like, "Oh, Damon will probably be a good fit," because they kind of knew me and knew my vibes and stuff like that. So like, "Oh, who's gonna do the boxing class? Damon will do it." And then here we are.
It was just the parents saw you vibing with the kids, and they're like, "Hey, can you continue working with?"
Yeah.
with
They were
him?
like, "Well, that was a hit. Like, let's do it again next week." And I was like, "Cool." and then one of the athletes in there, he had cerebral palsy, and he was kind of struggling with like some of the stuff we were doing, and his mom was a fitness coach. And she's like, "This is amazing. I've been wanting to find someone who could work with Scott. Would you personal train him?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" So we start personal training, and then I post that on social media. Someone hits me up. "Hey, my son has a traumatic brain injury. Can you coach him?" "Sure." "Hey, my son has autism. Can you coach?" And it just slowly grew from there.
And so you just blew up. Like, you got kicked out of the gym? Or
Yeah. So the UFC gym in Lafayette shut down. I started working at Head Kicks Mixed Martial Arts, and I had 3 group classes there with anywhere from like 15 to 18 athletes in each session, and then a full personal training load. 2020 comes around, and I'm just like, I can't go. My schedule's completely full. The only way to continue growing it would be to hire somebody. It's 2020. I'm working at Head Kicks. It's a great gym, but like obviously they don't want me to hire somebody to work under me in their gym, right? Real estate's super cheap, so we took the leap of faith and got our own facility in 2020.
Perfect timing.
It's wild, bro.
Nailed it.
Got some really cheap real estate. They always say buy low, and that's kind of what we did, because the special needs community was completely shut down. Like, because most of the special needs community is run on nonprofits.
Yeah.
So all these nonprofits were dead. So you had this whole population of people with special needs craving movement, community, positivity.
Just getting out the house.
Exactly. And so I was like, yo, we're going to do some modified stuff because it's COVID, but like we're going to run. And dude, I was running Zoom fitness sessions with like 40, 50 people with special needs on it. And then we slowly started opening up, and they were just craving it, dude. And so we kind of had their attention, and we just rocked it.
And so how does it work? Are you getting paid by the government? Are you getting paid out of pocket? Like, how does that?
Yeah, no government. We did it the hard way. I went through a lot of thought and prayer when I opened this thing up. I was like, should it be a nonprofit? Should we try and get some government funding? And I'm a big believer that in capitalism, in that profit drives sustainability. And I wanted to change the world as far as like people with special needs having access to high quality fitness programs. And I knew that the only way that I could do that was to do a private pay. Like, hey, I want you to train my son with autism. Here's my credit card. Hey, I want you to train me with a spinal cord injury because I believe you can help me accomplish my goals. I'm going to pay out of pocket. Like, that is the only way that this thing really truly grows. And so, yeah, we've built it to what it is now, completely on private pay, and we'll see what happens in the future. But that's what the business is now, 100% private pay.
And so, what are the offerings? Is it all private training, all group? You go. How do you train?
Yeah, so personal training is our biggest one. That's the one we recommend people to start always, just because it's the most customized offer. We're going to be able to control the environment. They're going to get, because a lot of these athletes have never worked out before. Like, ever. This is their first gym experience. So for me to make sure that that's the best experience, we always offer personal training first. But we have personal training. We have small group training. So 1 to 3 athletes. This is a good one for like an athlete with autism who needs some social interaction, but we need to control how sensory overloaded they get. We need to make sure the personalities line up. Small group's a great option for that. And then we have a regular group as well. So 1 coach up to 8 athletes, and then we'll have sessions with 14, 15 athletes on the mat with 2 coaches. And so we kind of have offerings for, any level of accountability and customization you want, all the way down to like somebody who needs to fit a budget more around that 160 to 180 range.
That was my next question. Is packaging and pricing similar to a regular gym?
Yep.
Or is it?
Yeah. So one-on-one personal training sessions, $70 a session. Small group personal training sessions, $58 a session, and then large group, $25 a session.
And so that would be kind of like top end of range in Lafayette. I'm assuming.
We are one of the. I made very sure not to like charge more. We are the only people who does this.
Yeah.
Who do this, but I didn't want to take advantage of that, so we don't charge more than all the other gyms, but we charge what a quality general pop personal training studio would charge. Like, we have climate controlled facility, we have the very best trainers in the area, so that $69 per private training session is what any high end facility would charge.
So so it sounds like they just approached you because you had good vibes. Like,
yeah, basically.
Is there a certification training, anything for working with like special needs kids?
Yeah, that's a good
Did
question.
you have that?
No, I didn't. I'm actually developing one right now. And so that'll be something we're releasing soon, just because there are some certifications out there. They have a certified special population specialist, and then Special Strong has one. But dude, what I've noticed about these is like, no hate, but like they're basically just like, hey, here's how you don't kill these people. Like, here's how you don't hurt somebody with a spinal cord injury, you know? And there's some crazy advice on there, like, you know, people with autism shouldn't get their heart rate above whatever. Like, that's crazy, right? So, yes, there's some certifications. I'm developing one that I know is going to actually help people train athletes with special needs. But one thing that, like, I've had a lot of conversations with people, even my team members who, like, don't have experience with people with special needs. They're like, I don't know a lot about the diagnoses. And it's like, even if you did, every athlete's different and unique. So you need to start over anyway, which is kind of the beautiful thing about the population. You know, it's like they say, you know, one person with autism, you know, one person with autism. So even if you're quote unquote educated, you still need to ask them about their story. Same thing with like a spinal cord injury. Even though they have the same level spinal cord injury, it's going to manifest different in their body, different bowel movements, the whole 9 yards. So it's, you kind of, everybody's unique. That's what makes it so fun.
So what are you looking for when you're hiring someone? And how many people did you say? How many coaches you have?
I have 6 coaches. Yeah,
Okay.
6 coaches, client success manager, head coach, you know, all that.
And so are you just looking for personality or
Yeah,
what?
100% communication skills. I love for the mission, communication skills. I want to be there, and the basic health and fitness knowledge, right? So I've got a couple powerlifters on my team. I've got a professional MMA fighter on my team. I've got a strongman on my team. I've got a mom who just likes to work out on my team. As long as they want to help people with special needs, we have the systems built in place, and my certification is helping them learn all that they need to know about the technical ins and outs.
And if someone looked at your gym, I'll have my computer and be like pulling stuff up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, does it look like a normal gym? We'll pop some photos on there, but
yeah,
you know, does it? If I walked in the door, would it look like any other gym? Like what kind of training equipment you got in there?
So it would look probably like a strength and conditioning, like sports facility type thing. Walk in, beautiful turf on the ground, big chalk wall that we do bright spots on. You know, so and so did this, so and so did that. Power racks, TRX straps. We do have a little bit of specialized equipment that we chose because obviously, like, this is our whole business. I bought a therapy table on Facebook Marketplace for like $500, so I can get some of my wheelchair athletes on there. It's really important to get adaptive athletes out of their chair and onto their stomach to open their hips. So we have a therapy table. I have a set of parallel bars I bought on Marketplace as well.
Nice.
And like, once I started doing and posting this, people started giving me all kinds of stuff. Like, hey, we got a standing frame. Do you want it? Heck yeah. Like, I have 2 racing trikes that were given to me. We have a 5K team. My adaptive athletes go out in these adaptive trikes. So we have a little bit of that specialized equipment, but I share the gym with an athletic and general pop gym. So it's completely inclusive. Like, there's moms, dads, fighters, athletes, my people. We tried really hard to not like have to make it so specialized so that this model could scale into any gym we wanted it to.
Is it like, when you say you share the gym, do you split spaces or do you split hours?
Kind of hours, but it's a beautiful model. Claire Savage, she's in the Tinker group. She has a gym called Ignite Health and Fitness, and obviously general pop gyms are mostly busy from, you know, before work hours, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then the gym dies down. My people come with caretakers, so we don't even open up until 10 a.m. So we run 10 a.m. We start slowing down about 5 because their caretakers get off of work at 5, and we do a pretty big after school program too. So we're in the gym 10 to 5, and then she has an after work class at 5:30. So it's like our gym is packed from 5 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. every day, and we rarely overlap, maybe a couple hours of the day.
So you were like the only person who's figured out how not to work split shifts in the fitness industry?
I hate to say it, but my people work 10 to 5, brother. It's a pretty good gig.
And so you don't even have to worry about figuring out how to get a morning and a night person because everyone's there in the middle of the day?
Yeah. My trainer's got it pretty good. Like, that's great because it's like it's a win for everybody, you know? But yeah, our latest sessions finishes at 6:15.
Hey, gym owners, are you looking for a way to generate more leads, close more sales, and increase client retention? Introducing Kilo. We are a software company that gives gym owners the tools they need to increase revenue and run a successful gym. With Kilo, you get a beautifully designed website to capture more leads, an integrated marketing automation platform to increase sales, and our gym management software so you can add new client memberships, process payments, and organize your class schedule. If you're ready to upgrade your gym management software, book a call at usekilo.com.
I'd imagine it's pretty easy to keep people too, because if you got a premium price point for your area, you're paying them well. It's mission driven and good hours. Like, do you get your pick of the litter, or like, is it just taxing working with the population? Like, is it harder to? I'd imagine it's tougher to coach.
It definitely is. It definitely is. But it's also a whole lot more rewarding too. So it's like you're working with a general pop at. We all know, like, sometimes soccer moms are hard to work with. Like, they don't want to come in. They got the don't wants. They're complaining a lot. These athletes don't do that. Like, yes, some of them you have to really you have to work around stuff, and sometimes they don't want to be there. But like the majority of them, you are really and truly changing their life. So even if it is a tough session, you're like, man, I'm wore out. But like when you leave the gym, you made a huge difference in all those athletes' lives.
So Lafayette, Louisiana, you're paying half of the expenses of the gym. I'm assuming like costs are pretty low then.
Yeah. We, me and Claire, share rent. Our expenses are pretty low for sure. You want me to share numbers?
You can share numbers.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we like it when we share numbers.
Yeah. So our rent is $5,000. Claire and I split it. So I have $2,500 worth of rent, and we share, utilities and expenses and all that stuff. We split all that stuff down the middle, and so we are both pretty, have very profitable businesses because we have. Now, there's sacrifices that come with that. Claire and I got to work together, but it's definitely worth it.
But I'd imagine if there was somebody else listening to this that wanted to do this, like, easy enough to approach one of the sports performance facilities in your area and say, hey, I'll pay half your expenses. Like, you're gonna get somebody to tell you yes to that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like Head Kicks, they loved it. It was a great deal. We were doing a profit share model over there. It was a great deal for them. They had no extra work and was just collecting money, Yeah, as long as it's a complimentary model, then it works very well.
Are there other people doing what you're doing, or are you kind of one of the only gyms doing this?
In the area or in the country?
Country.
There are a couple other gyms. They have Special Strong in Texas, but they do like more like machine style, like personal training work. And then there's actually another guy, Two-Brain Ryan Webb, out in Cali. He does it. Callie Beckwith, she has an ADAPT program in Cali. In our area, like in the South and Southeast, we are like the only ones doing it. And I do know that we're kind of the only ones doing it. Like as far as private pay, like at the size that we're doing it, we're the only ones.
So when you say the size, like how many clients do you have?
I have 158.
158, and most of those people are on personal training?
Most of those people on personal training, that's right.
So what does that look like revenue-wise?
Yeah, so my arm is 290. So high month, right at 51,000. Regular month, 46,000.
Which for your area is probably
pretty good.
That's probably, be the equivalent of doing double that in a tier one city.
Yeah, like cost of living wise, like I said, we have about 121,000 people. Our cost of living is pretty low. So that's we're very happy and grateful for that.
And do you think like anyone could do this? Like if you have a gym owner who's you're obviously building a certification, so
yep.
you got to believe that other people could at least do this part-time. Like, is this something, if you just care and you care about this population, you could build something, or do you have to have the sauce?
Hell yeah, that's what I believe. Like, I believe that gym owners who open gyms to make money and help people can do it. I do think it would be tough for somebody who's, like, purely in it, like, I'm only in this for the profit. Like, I do think it would be tough for them to understand why would I, add this on? But for gym owners, like, that's the two-brain mentality. That's what got me into two-brain. It's like two-brain, the head and the heart. Like, the people that have both, who want to make money and impact the world, like, they could definitely do it. I don't believe that, like, working with people with special needs is like a gift. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to learn, but it's not like some God-ordained thing that, like, you got to have this special aura about you for sure.
So, like, someone who's a pretty solid coach at Gen Pop or dealing with difficult clients, they're going to be able to have success with this.
Absolutely. I've seen this with my own trainers. Like because me and Claire share a couple trainers, and watching them get to add a little bit of variety into their day with different clients, and go back from working with an athlete, working with a mom to working with someone with special needs. Like it really is like a nice little kickstart, and a nice little reminder of why you got into it. Not to mention being able to fill dead hours in the gym and increase your income too.
And I don't think we covered it. Who's Claire?
Claire is the owner of Ignite Fitness, who we share the gym.
And you guys aren't? Are you guys dating or anything like that?
No. She's just
a professional.
Just a professional relationship. Yeah.
How'd you know? How'd you find her?
She's a MMA fighter as well, and so we were training together. I knew that she actually was operating in the space that we now share. So she was operating in there. I got a chance to go in and purchase that facility, and we teamed up and partnered up to make the facility just the best it can be, hire the very best coaches. And between the two of us, we've got it going on.
People are going to hear this and want to do it. So, like, you know, for someone who's shared a facility, what advice do you have? To one, a gym owner who may want to set out and do this on their own, or two, like a gym owner who's going to try and approach and try and get someone to do it. What kind of advice would you have in making this work?
Yeah, find somebody whose values align with you. Like y'all need to hold dear the same things, and not to say they got to be, because like Claire and I operate like wavelengths differently, but like we care about the same things. Find somebody whose values align with you. Over communicate. That's the biggest one. Just make sure you know everything is lined up. We have a lease agreement. Like it's all tied up pretty good. Like we went about it the right way. This wasn't just like a hey let's do. Well, it kind of was like a hey let's do this, but as we kept walking, we made it legit, you know. But yeah, complementary, values aligned, and communication, I would say, are the biggest things.
And so, what year was that first boxing class? I don't remember.
2014.
Okay. And so you were just grinding up until 2020. 2020 is when you made the jump.
2020, so I made the jump of own facility. That's right.
So when you opened up, like, how big was the business?
We had like 40 clients.
Okay.
Yeah, about 40 clients. We had like just enough to pay rent.
So you like 4x'd in the 5 years since you opened the door.
Yeah, 4x in members, 5x in revenue at least. But yeah, we were like I said, we were barely able to cover rent.
And so, you know, I don't know if you can. You can't like run an ad for like how do you do this?
Yeah.
How do you get clients?
That's actually another thing I really love about this population is they're a tight knit community. And
that's my guess. You're like one, you get them all.
Yeah. So the marketing is all relational. Like the way that's the one thing about this community is like you have to earn their trust. They've been burnt by the school system, burnt by the medical system, just burnt. So like a Facebook ad, they might have to see 20 of those things before they come into your gym. But if you go to an event they're at with a table, let them know, hey, you know, we're here to help. Shake their hands, say hi. Like face-to-face, building trust, they'll be in the door.
Right, because I'd imagine if you're a mom with a kid who has autism, you hang out, you got mom friends with kids with autism. Yeah. And you're probably looking for stuff to
do, right?
Yeah,
so if they have a weekend event, like we had a gala that Dreams put on last weekend. We had a 5K that we participated in. This coming weekend, next weekend, we have a big festival of success with a personal care agency. We do a lot of work with personal care agencies. So we'll be at that. The very next day, we have a Autism Society picnic. Like, there's stuff going on all the time, in the spring and the fall especially. And if you're there, saying hello to people, adding a little bit of value to their lives, and they learn to trust you, like, and that's the kind of marketing I like. I'd rather do that than sponsor Facebook ads all day, you know? So especially the team members, like if you can eventually delegate that so it doesn't have to be you, it works out great.
And what's I'd imagine the sales process is like slightly different than selling to Gen Pop. Like, what does that look like? Are you like selling a year, or are you like,
yeah. So the NSI is sales process, come in for a consultation. The big difference in the sales consultation is just knowing what questions to ask. And we're in my affiliate program, we're giving everybody that. Like, you got to ask a couple different questions, like, what are you here for? Because a lot of people, they're there for fitness, but they're also there for socialization and extra activity out the house. Maybe they just got discharged from physical therapy and they're looking for the next step, right? You're going to get people that need to lose weight, but that's really a fraction of like the people that are there, right? So asking them what they're really there for, asking them, are you in PT? Asking them what environments they get overloaded in, if they have sensory sensitivity. So there's a few things that are different like that. But then after that, we say, hey, this is our personal training packages. We require a 6-month commitment up front. So 6-month commitment up front. And then we do a mandatory exit interview if you want to cancel after that, and a 28-day notice. And that exit interview has been key because, we're kind of figuring this out. Like, there's not a whole lot of people doing this. So that exit interview makes us it helps us know what's wrong with our business so we can improve it.
Do people stick around a while? Like, what's churn look like in a business like this?
Yeah. So we have members that have been with us for, like, I have a picture of my first class I'll send you, like, years ago, and I have all of those members in that picture are still with me today, like 10 years later. Our normal churn is around 5% a month.
Yeah.
So it's pretty reasonable. The churn thing in this population is just medical stuff. Like, very rarely do we ever get like, yeah, we're not enjoying it. It's mostly like, hey, I have to have a procedure, whatever. Most of the stuff is medical stuff that we lose people.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, so that's probably an impediment. And so one of the things that's probably interesting, if you're the only shop within hundreds of miles, how far are people driving to go to your gym?
I have like multiple athletes that drive like an hour to come see us, like a clip.
How many times a week does the average person train?
Twice.
So that's like top end. If people want to do more,
do more. Yeah, we'll do more. I have one guy, my boy Drew. He trains 5 days a week. He's also jacked, dude. Spinal cord injury guy, jacked. He's dog. He trains 5 days a week. I've got a few 3 days a weeker, but the most popular is 2 days a week. That's just because, like, other therapies that they're doing, right? So some of these people are still in physical therapy, still in speech therapy, whatever. And then we encourage them to, we have a third piece. Like, we obviously do the training, the nutrition, and then we have a lifestyle coaching piece too, which is like, hey, like, go get involved with the Special Olympics or a sport. Start rolling or walking during your off time so we can do 5Ks, So we encourage them to spend some outside time outside the gym as well.
And I know you're just starting to teach gym owners how to do this themselves. Like, interested to hear your thoughts. If I'm Gym XYZ, are you going to tell me to brand my special needs stuff as a different brand, or is it like
you can brand it whatever you want? We put a lot of thought into this. What's important to me is that these athletes get access to a quality gym and that the gym owners make enough money to keep doing it. Those are the two things I'm concerned. I'm concerned about sustainability, right? So you're going to license the program. We will protect you. Like, we won't sell a license to somebody within however many square miles we decide. But you can call it, my boy Corey Lewis, we've been talking about it, extra mile adaptive fitness. Like, call it whatever you want. It's your baby. We're going to teach you how to do it, but we want the gym owners to love it and hold it dear and be proud of it, and it also speak to the people in their community.
And so if, we don't have this live yet, but when it comes live, where do you want people to go to get more information about this, fall along in the journey? Where are we sending people right now?
Yeah. So right now, come to my Instagram. I'm about to do a partnership with a pretty awesome company. We're going to be posting some weekly training content for adaptive athletes. So it'll be some educational stuff, and then all my adaptive or our affiliate program stuff's going to launch on there. So
what's your handle?
It's Damon, DAMON_VEE.
Okay, Damon V. We'll link to it down below. And what's your gym site in case people want to go check that out? We'll link to that too.
WeTrainUnique.com.
All right.
Yeah, and then that's the same thing on Instagram. WeTrainUnique.
All right. So we'll do a follow up once you're live, and we got a couple people through this thing and talk about some of the success stories, because I'm interested to see how this scales, because it solves the problem we hear a lot is, hey, my gym is dead during the day, and people try a bunch of different stuff, nothing ever works, and this sounds like a very interesting way. If you can get some traction doing this, I can see how this could be cool.
Sweet, man. Yeah, I got a couple gyms, a couple guys have been talking to test it for me, so we're gonna test it, work out the kinks, and then we'll do a big launch.
So you listen to me, gym owner. If you like hearing these interesting stories, if you like getting strategies from the front line, how to pack the middle of the day, you send this podcast to a gym owner in need. And if you really want to thank me, and you really want to thank Damon, what you're going to do is you're going to use kilo.com. You're going to book yourself a call. You're going to get yourself a nice website, some marketing automation. We're going to get you some more members. And with those more members, you need to manage them. And so we got a little piece of software called Kilo is going to help you manage them. It doesn't matter whether they're adaptive athletes or regular athletes. We got the features for you. So head over there, talk to my boy Mateo. He's going to get you all set up. That is it for this week in Gym World. This was a cool one. Looking forward to writing this up. We love you, Gym World. We'll talk to you next week.